Hello, this is Mohan Kelkar, and in this video, I want to talk about number of people who are attending the COP meetings and the fossil fuel consumption. In November of 2023, we just concluded COP28 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Those of you who don't know what COP meetings are, these are Conference of Parties meetings which are held under the auspices of United Nations. And nations and their leaders meet to discuss the challenges faced by the climate change and how to mitigate them. The first meeting was held in 1995, and since that, every year a COP meeting has been held, and new pledges to combat climate change are made, including the last one in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The statistics of the last meeting was staggering. Over 85,000 people attended the meeting, 199 countries were represented, and 170 heads of state were participants in the meeting. More than 300 private jets flew into Dubai to attend the meeting. So what was pledged at the conference? It was pledged that this will be the beginning of the end of fossil fuels, laid the groundwork for swift, equitable, and just transition to other types of energy sources, proposed deep emission cuts, and scaled up finance for developing countries. But similar pledges have been made in the past as well. In COP26, Glasgow, United Kingdom, there was a pledge to phase down the coal usage, urgent greenhouse gas emission reductions, commit more climate finance for developing countries, and recommit to keeping the global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. In France, in 2015, in COP21, similar pledges were made as well. Limit the global rise in temperature to 1.5 degrees and no more than 2 degrees Celsius, financing for developing countries to fight climate change, to reduce the carbon output as soon as possible. And if 55 countries emitting 55% of the CO2 agree, then the commitment will become binding. So every COP meeting, similar pledges have been made to reduce the fossil fuel consumption. But what has happened in the practice? If you look at the fossil fuel consumption since the first meeting was held, the fossil fuel consumption has almost doubled from about 80,000 terawatt hours per year to close to 140,000 terawatt hours. But if you look at the graph of the number of delegates who are attending the COP conferences, that number has almost tracked parallelly to the fossil fuel consumption. The first meeting was held by about 1,100 people, and then since that time, almost 11,000 to 12,000 people are attending the conference who represent various countries. As a matter of fact, if you plot the fossil fuel consumption versus the number of delegates on a log scale or a ratio scale, you see a pretty good correlation. Now we know that this is not a causation, but is it really true, tongue-in-cheek, that by reducing the number of delegates who are attending the COP conference, we can reduce the fossil fuel consumption? Obviously not. But it shows the futility of attending the COP conferences because the fossil fuel consumption continues to rise. And the reason that the fossil consumption continues to rise is because the benefits outweigh the cost. One of the biggest challenges COP meetings face is that they never discuss the benefits of fossil fuel, instead only emphasize the cost. But the average person in the world is much wiser, and as long as they have access to fossil fuels, they will continue to use it. So other than big pronouncements, COP meetings have not been very successful in reducing the consumption of fossil fuels unless they recognize the benefits and also consider the cost. Thank you for listening to this presentation. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel.